about changing locations and shit. Man, get into this motherfucking bag. Stand on the way I made. Sacrificing time for this shit. Man, I got a plan. Tried to tell niggas years ago. They ain't understand. Riding by myself and it's cool. I'm all in my head. Everything in life you can't replace. I build relationships. Pretty little smile make a nigga wanna lock it in. We met the same time I lost a friend. We should try again. You been on my mind. You should hop in. I ain't gon' hurt you, baby girl. You know we locked in. Used to be on FaceTime calls on the regular. Never made time, landed on my busy schedule. Now every time I get the bay, you know I think of you. Working on your brand, love, you know that I.
Yeah, it's goddess. And I'm a day one type of girl. Ain't nothing wishy-washy over here. I don't jump around, stick to one side. Yeah, the silver, the blue, we got them in their feelings. That star on the field, come pay the D a visit. They say it's hatred, is it? I call it hate and simping. Cause if we wasn't that hating, they wouldn't be in our business. Listen, West Coast say the water tastes better. The fan base go harder, and all the ladies get wetter. Yeah, that's how it is when you straight reppin' for Dallas. We get it in the trap, and landlord tell us what's happening. No explanations in no shape, form, or fashion. When Henny drop the stats, ain't nothing else to be asking. Them numbers don't lie, that's why your argument dry. And we still got them rings, you got your eyes on our prize. Whether an eagle, a giant, or a commando, you in the parking lot crying, we in the Lambo. We stay in our bag, we run it up in the draft. You still talking about the 90s, so who's stuck in the past? Get off me, and I'ma need you 6 feet back. And we ain't hearing nothing till your team beat that. And we ain't scared of running, what you thought we bleed that? It's only one team over here, that's Cowboys, believe that. Yeah, this you got is the poet. Big up West Coast Cowboy, HTM Sports, and Landlord from Alabama. Y'all check them boys out. They don't play around with the Cowboys content. Yeah, and you know it's DC. Yeah, DC 4L.
31 teams in the NFL. His system is designed to stop 25 teams.
Shit, I need a linebacker that's over 200 pounds. I need a defensive tackle that you got to pull away from the buffet. He's gone, so no.
Let's talk about that.
But yeah, that's a large part. That's a large part of
I gotta make this point because I ain't gonna lie, I forgot about it until you mentioned it. So I gotta get this out before it flees me, and the nation needs to hear this.
And we are live. What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Henny the Moore reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing? And as y'all can see, man, we have West Coast, the Kanye West of this Dallas Cowboys content stuff right here, man. This is Cowboys Uncut, the most unadulterated, unfiltered, unhinged Dallas Cowboys content you can get anywhere, man. But Wes, how you living today, man? How you feeling, cuzzo?
Dude, I'm good, man. I feel better. I feel better now that the day, you know what I'm saying? Now that it's a day removed from the game, I feel a lot better now.
You and me both, man. Listen, it's rough watching the game from a fan perspective, but when you come back and you put your content creator hat back on, you feel a little bit better about life because you
man, it's like that. It's rough watching that mess in person, bro. Like, bro, all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know fans be saying whatever they want to say about, it's just a preseason game, but I will say this. Had the Cowboys would have won that game the same way the Rams would have won that game, I promise you Cowboy Nation will be singing a different tune today.
That's
so, however you want to swallow that is however you want to swallow it. But I mean, that's a real deal. If Cowboys would have won that game in the same fashion that we lost that game in, we would be having a different conversation right now. And I know that's factual. Yeah. But I mean, that's what Cowboys fans do though. Like, I'm gonna just be honest with you. What we do is we push the goalposts back, you know what I mean? And guess what's gonna happen? Since the Cowboys didn't win, what they gonna do? They're gonna just push the goalposts back. They're gonna say, it was just a preseason game, it was this or that, or the same thing they do when they trying to downgrade it, Dak didn't do this. But we just gonna push the goalposts back and say he didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's all Cowboy fans are gonna do. we just gonna naturally make excuses for the team. Say, oh, it's just a preseason game. It's just that. But I will say this, right? Now that I've got that negative portion out, I will say this. I will throw them a little bone because realistically, that was supposed to be how your team was supposed to look. To be honest with you, you had a brand new offensive coordinator, brand new defensive coordinator, brand new backup quarterback. Half your offensive line is brand new. Every running back on your team, except for the one that they didn't give the ball to, is brand new.
Yeah, so West got kicked, but he's coming back in. He's coming back in. But
Hello? You there?
yeah, you went out for a second. You must went
Yeah,
to
sorry
the
about
spot. You good?
Oh.
Good.
What was the last thing I said?
You said that everybody in the running back room brand new except for the one they didn't get the ball to.
Yeah, everybody in the running back room is brand new except for the one that they didn't give the ball to. You know what I'm saying? And that's Deuce Vaughn. And I'm not saying he should have got the ball. I'm just saying he's the only one that was brand new. That wasn't brand new. So I mean, considering that every aspect of your team was brand new and it was, you know what I'm saying, it was all new. I feel like that's probably about as good as they could have played. But I will say this: I feel like the Cowboys go into preseason games and they be using these preseason games to find out about one player. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Cowboys cannot convince me that last night's game plan was not to find out what you had in your backup quarterback, because that's all it looks like they were trying to evaluate.
Yeah, and we'll evaluate this from a player-to-player perspective, and everything else like that. So to add further context, this is everybody that did not suit up for the Dallas Cowboys last night. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Turpin, Jake Ferguson, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Terrence Steele, pretty much everybody that you can name on the Dallas Cowboys without having to Google it, they didn't play. Of course, Michael Parsons back, did not participate. Dante Fowler, Sam Williams, Marshawn Nealon. So pretty much nobody you're really counting on played. And I do agree with you to the point that they used this first preseason game to try and evaluate, some of the guys at the back end of the roster. So my question is, do you think Shotty's game plan is like the old fashioned game plan? Because you remember once upon a time they used to use the first two preseason games for position battles, and then the last preseason game was dress rehearsal. Do you think that's the approach, or do you think what do you think the plan was going into this, man?
To be honest with you, bro, I really don't know what the approach was. I don't know what the approach is, because I think last night's game was more about organization than what they wanted. I don't think Shotty was doing anything of what he wanted yesterday. I mean, it was the first game of the Dallas Cowboys season. I mean, last night's game just looked like a who's who of who can play. You know what I'm saying? Because Deuce Vaughn got the start, and that within itself messed up their offense because he can't pass block. You know what I'm saying?
You saw he was sitting over there beside the coach after a while. So,
I mean, and then it's like, bro, like let's just talk about players. Let's talk about the quarterback position. Then we'll break it down, go there, because we can be all over the place.
You right. Let's do Let's do it like this: quarterback. You're Mr. Run the damn ball. We'll do running back after quarterback. Okay, so those will be the first two we touch on.
All right, so quarterback. If I had to talk about quarterback, Joe Milton, he was, I forget his exact. What was his exact stats?
Oh, you want the exact stats of Joe Milton? Give me 2 seconds. I have that for you. Let me see. Dallas Cowboys versus Rams preseason game.
The stat line says that he actually played a little bit better than what he did, but I mean, go ahead.
17 of 29, 143 yards, a touchdown, and an interception.
Now, this is what I will say, right? 17 of 29, right? The cool thing about the game is, think about this: the first 7 plays of the game was passes, and he only connected on one.
Yeah, I think he had like one pass and a screen, if you want to count that.
Yeah. So for the first 7 passes, 7 of his passes that he completed happened within the first 5 minutes of the game. And I think the Cowboys, if I had to say the biggest knack on the offensive Joe Milton looks like a guy that hasn't played, bro. He looks like a guy that hasn't played in a while. And I'm gonna tell you this right here: Joe needs to go to like an accuracy coach or a trajectory coach. He needs to go to a trajectory coach because he does not know the difference between throwing a 5-yard banger and a 50-yard go route. He don't know the difference. He knows the difference, but his arm don't know the difference.
Same velocity on every single throw.
On every single play, bro.
He throwing missiles on little slants, on comebacks. Like, the touch was not there early on. And listen, to Shotty's defense, because, in my mind, when you call up plays and you get wide receivers open, it's on the quarterback to put the ball on them. There were wide receivers running wide open multiple times, and he just could not hit them early on. You know what I mean? Like, there would have been a touchdown for Ryan Flournoy, missed him. There would have been a big play. Also, listen, one of the people that stock is down because of how Joe Milton played is Ryan Flournoy. Because he should have went over damn near 100 yards with how open he was, and he could not get the ball to the man. So you are completely right. Like, he has to clean up his accuracy, his mechanics, whatever the hell it is that is making him sell these balls the way they are. Because listen, I love the arm talent, but it does me no good if you're throwing it over my wide receivers' heads and they wide open, or you're throwing the ball 50 yards down the field into double coverage. It does not help me that your arm is amazing. It's a detriment at that point. Let's be back shortly, but yeah, I do agree with his point. Like Joe Milton, I'm really actually surprised because I doubt Joe Milton was further along in his development than he actually is. I saw the game he played last year against the New England Patriots. I can hear you. I saw the game that he played last year against the New England Patriots. And, of course, we see what he's been doing in training camp. I doubt, that he had took a slight step in his development. But that accuracy is still an issue, man. So for anybody thinking there was a real quarterback competition, it's damn sure ain't that. The real quarterback competition between Joe Milton and Will Greer. That's the crazy part.
And honestly, I don't even be honest with you. It ain't even really between Will Greer because as of right now, the Dallas Cowboys don't have a backup quarterback, bro.
I mean, listen.
Listen to me. If you had to put, I would say right now that Trey Lance is a better overall quarterback than Joe Milton. I would say that Trey Lance is a better overall quarterback than Joe Milton is right now.
You know what's crazy? About 24 hours, I might have fought you on that, but shit, it looks evident right now, don't it? You see what the difference a day make? How the old song go? But I agree. I agree at this point, man. From what I saw the last time for Trey Lance when he played in preseason the other day, and from what I saw compared to Joe Milton, Trey Lance was playing better. So it is what it is. And listen, we weren't high on Trey Lance at all. So if Trey Lance is currently a better quarterback than Joe Milton, that's an issue. Because one of the things we were upset with Trey Lance about is we felt that he wasn't good enough for us to evaluate the wide receivers on the back end of this roster. We thought we had something in Joe Milton, and because he's having this inaccuracy issue right now, because he's missing these wide receivers that we trying to get the opportunities on and see what they can do, it's rough. The only wide receiver he really connected with was Trayshawn Holden, and that's the guy that been his go-to guy in training camp.
Number 7, well, he's not number 7 no more, but number 7 has been his guy. He's been throwing the ball to him all week.
Yeah, Trayshawn Holden, that's that boy right there, man. Like he gonna have to get it. Yeah, you gonna. Yeah, I see what you did right there, Wes. I see what you did right there. He ain't number 7 no more. You right. He gonna have to get his own number now. He gonna make that team. he for fuck show.
Yeah, he had to get his own team number. But I will say this too. Same situation. If you just had to evaluate Joe Milton between Cooper Rush, Trey Lance, Will Greer, those are the guys who have been our quarterbacks right now. Bruh, if all those guys was on this team right now, it would go Cooper Rush, Trey Lance, Joe Milton.
Then Will Greer somewhere.
And then Will Greer. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Will Greer just, he has he has the disadvantage of being the actual white quarterback on the team. So, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying Cooper Rush ain't, but Cooper Rush got a little, he got a little, in it. You know what I'm saying? He got a little dude in it. But to be honest with you, considering Cooper Rush is in the exact same position that he was in for the Dallas Cowboys, he's a backup quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens, a guy that's probably not going to play except for maybe one game because for the most part, Lamar will miss a game, but he ain't going to miss the whole season. The Cowboys messed it. We burned it. We messed up on that one because Cooper Rush should be a Dallas Cowboys right now, considering he's playing he's not a starting quarterback and he's not going to be a starting quarterback. So the Cowboys, we messed up on that. We took and I'm gonna tell you,
Hey,
it also lets you know that the Dallas Cowboys reevaluate.
you break it up, Cuzzo. You breaking up. You going in and out. Yeah, West will be back in momentarily, man. Listen, the only people that can stop West Coast is the government and Wi-Fi people. They're the only folks that can stop West Coast, man. You can't hold a real one down. They can only slow down the inevitable. West will be back in here to talk that good shit with y'all just in just a second. But I kind of sort of agree, with his points up to this point. And listen, it might be recency bias on my end. I'll go back once the all 22 footage drops. I'll go back and I'll break it down throw by throw. Concept by concept, and I'll see what was going on with Joe. But he is right. We're talking about somebody that you can trust not to throw the game away. You talk about somebody you can trust to hold down the fort for a game or two. Cooper Rush has been, a consistent backup quarterback in the National Football League. Matter of fact, we got those guys that believe that quarterback wins. We got those folks that believe that quarterback wins is an actual stat. So, we have folks over here in Cowboy Nation. You got them folks over here in Cowboy Nation that were trying to give Dak Prescott job to Cooper Rush. So, I understand where Cuz is coming from. You talk about a quarterback that can manage the game, then you can win the game with a certain game plan. Cooper Rush does that consistently. They were able to do that consistently with Cooper Rush. Now, granted, because the play calling was a little wonky, and they went out there and they threw the ball like 6 or 7 times to start the game with Joe Milton. I want to see Joe Milton with the Cooper Rush game plan. I want to see them run the ball, at a high clip. I want to see them move the pocket with Joe Milton. I want to see them let Joe Milton run the football. All those different things that Joe Milton excels at. I want to see them do that for him. You know what I'm saying? I want to see them do that for him before I give up on Joe Milton. Give them the Cooper Rush game plan. I want to see him with the Cooper Rush game plan. And if he can't do it, then we need to have a conversation about Will Greer. Craig, I only got like 2 or 3. I think I got like 3 Dallas Cowboy hats right now. I think I got 3 of them things. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, Cuz fighting to get back in here, man. He fighting to try to get back in here. Y'all hang tight. We'll get him in here. But listen, even if Joe Milton isn't ready yet, it doesn't mean that he can't be ready. Like, you might be able to turn Joe Milton into the long-term, prospect. You might be able to turn him into the long-term prospect. It's just right now in the short term, he might not be ready, and that's okay. But I do at least want to see him with a similar game plan to what they gave Cooper Rush. You know what I'm saying? Like, and listen, I was trying to hold off on this topic until Cuz could get back in here because he missed to run the damn ball himself. But the Dallas Cowboys were able to run the ball last night. Like, they ran the ball surprisingly well, all things considering. Like, all things considering, they ran the ball pretty damn good last night. So, let's see. Let me see if I can find what I was finna share with y'all real quick. Hold on. Okay, boom. I got it. So let me toggle this back on. Go here. All right. So let's say that you didn't. Let's say the penalties didn't happen because there were penalties that wiped out some great runs by some of these players. If penalties never happened, Malik Davis, he still got his 7 carries for 63 yards, average 9. Phil Maffa had 11 carries for 50 yards, 4.5 yards per on average. And Deuce Vaughn, who had one of his longest yards wiped out, would have had 3 carries for 17 yards. So in terms of moving people around, like the offensive line did a damn good job. Like the running game was actually okay last night. Like the running
The
game
actual
was
running
actually
backs
okay
didn't
last
look
night.
good. The actual running backs didn't look good. I mean, Maffa looked better than Maffa should have played more than Deuce. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think,
Maffa looked pretty good to me.
but I would have liked to see Maffa out there trying to pass block for Joe when he was out there throwing them 7 straight drop back passes. Because just having Deuce Vaughn try to go out there and then like they literally had Deuce Vaughn trying to take on a block and go run a route, bro.
Yeah, they tried to have him chip and release. I saw that.
Like that was way too much, bro. Like he up here trying to hit a dude that's 2 times bigger than him, absorb all that energy, take off running, and go catch a pass, bro. He got to get up off the ground first.
He's too little, dog. He's 5'5".
Yeah, that's what
They got him
we
listed
played
as
my
5'5".
son. Yeah, my son played a team. Yeah, my son played a team on the other played a team the other day, and man, my son the biggest kid out there. I ain't even gonna lie. And so I told him like, bro, these little kids, you should be finishing them to the point where they're on the ground. They should not be standing up anymore. Put a kid on the ground, go to the next one. And to be honest with you, that was the mindset when they was getting that little Deucey. You know what I'm saying? They was putting his ass like, bro, I saw that boy get hit. They tackled him on the 26, and when the play was over, he was on the 31.
Yeah, like I said, Deuce can't pass block like that, man. At least not against no damn blitzing linebacker. You know, maybe a blitzing corner or some shit like that, but that's too much of a size difference. Malik Davis 8'2", though. That boy had 7 carries and 63 yards. So Malik Davis had looked good. Phil Maffa
And think about this, Malik just got signed 4 days ago.
Yep, signed off the couch.
So that lets you know that he was working on his own by himself, in shape, ready to go. Because he literally just got signed, I think, Wednesday.
Yeah, it was like Wednesday or Thursday. It was like right before this shit. Because matter of fact, I had hit up landlord. You know, he was out there at camp. I like, you see your boy out there? You know, landlord was a damn Malik Davis fan and shit. So I like, you don't see your boy out there? Yeah, he back, he there. So yeah, but
is landlord back home yet?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Man, that's messed up, bro. This fool came all the way out here, didn't even let me know he was out here when, man. Because I was up there Thursday and I was at the game on Saturday. And I had VIP PP, bro. We was damn near in the huddle, bro. Well, we was on the Ram side, but I don't care. Shout out to my boy, man. Shout out to my boy Mike over at the West Texas Dallas Cowboy podcast, man. My boy sponsored the entire trip, bro. I ain't even gonna try to sit up here and gas, bro. This dude sponsored the entire trip, bro. Not even just for me, but for my entire family, bro. Real ass Cowboy fan right there, bro. Real ass Cowboy fan. And then let me tell you how good God is when you be a blessing to somebody. God gonna bless you, right? So he bought some tickets. He bought my tickets, right? And then they were out of the VIP. So we ended up being VIP behind the Rams bench, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't even really care. I just want to be as close as possible. So then they had 2 more tickets for the Cowboys VIP, and so he got them. And he gets the tickets, bro. And this fool is walking in the elevator, and he stops. And he's about to call me, and he calls me, and a guy pushes the elevator button and stands there and waits him. And guess who waits right there for him for an elevator for almost a minute and a half?
Who?
Stephen freaking Jones. The Jones that look like the Jones that look like he ain't one of the Jones, but he looked like he domestically one of the Jones. That one.
Oh damn.
Matter of fact, this whole crew right here, that whole little crew right there, it was everybody except for Jerry. It was everybody except for Jerry. They just waited there in the elevator for like a minute and a half. I was like, bro, get off the phone with me and talk to him. Like, I'm West Coast. What you talking to me for? You talking to me every day.
Real
I
talk.
get off. I literally told I said, bro. He said, what am I supposed to do? Say, get off the phone and talk to him, fool. Ask a question. Just don't ask him nothing that they get mad about, but ask him a question. You know what I'm saying? Get off the phone and ask him a question.
That's crazy. But shout out to Mike though. He is a good dude,
Bro,
man.
Mike was meeting everybody, bro. He met Jerry. He met everybody, bro. He met Jerry Jones. He freaking was walking out of his hotel, and it was like, I ain't gonna tell you. Well, I can tell you who it is because now he was walking out of his hotel at like 2:00 in the morning to smoke a cigarette. And guess who's sitting outside the hotel on the phone with a hood on his head?
Michael Parsons,
No, Trevon Diggs.
Trayvon. One of them. I knew one of them.
So he was meeting random people all week, bro. And then he saw Diggs because he tried to get a question, but it's like 2:00 in the morning. Diggs signed his little hat for him though. And then when he saw him at training camp, he was like, Diggs, my bad about last night. Diggs was like, it's all right, it's all good. It's probably because Diggs didn't want nobody to know he was outside.
That's crazy. All right, but hey, salute to Mike and the experiences y'all had. So I know we always got to use PFF with a grain of salt. These were the highest graded players on offense and defense. For your offense, the highest graded players were Ajanai Cornelius, the rookie tackle from Oregon, Malik Davis, running back from off the couch, TJ Bass, interior offensive lineman, also from Oregon. Been on the team for a couple of years. Rookie undrafted wide receiver Josh Kelly, and then Nate Thomas, second year tackle out of Louisiana. So those were the highest graded offensive players for the Dallas Cowboys last night. Not sure why Moffat's not on here because I think he did an excellent job. That's why I said take these grades and shit with a grain of salt. Then on the other side of the football, the next highest graded players were Izzy. Shout out to Israel McQuamu, friend of the show. Had a big interception last night in coverage. Shout out to Zion Childress. Rookie undrafted free agent safety out there making plays. Leah Fowl was going crazy. Eazy-E made some plays, and Troy Pride was there. You get a 69. You a 69 guy. I'm not just saying that you played amazing, but you were out there. You were out there. Hey, Wes, you there? Yo, Wes, you there? Guess not. All right. But yeah, those were the highest graded players on both sides of the balls, man. I'm not sure if I completely agree with the list, but shit happens. He said Izzy been showing up, just never had a chance to. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys are so thin at the cornerback position. You gotta hope that somebody steps up. It can't be Andrew Booth. Andrew Booth was out there, bitch. And listen, I'll be fair to Andrew Booth. I had somebody say, hey, he played it well. It was just a perfectly thrown ball. I thought I saw the boy get stacked. I don't, there's a phrase for it. They stack and you attack. So I thought I saw him get stacked off the line of scrimmage, and that's why the ball was able to get where it went. So if he got stacked, he lost, in my opinion. But I will, give him the benefit of the doubt and take a look, at the all 22 footage when it drops. I'll take a look at it when all 22 footage drop. Henny, do they just hate Deuce Vaughn because they gave him no opportunity? I don't know. They hate Deuce Vaughn. I think that Deuce Vaughn is 5'5", and it's a lot to ask him to stop blitzing linebackers, in pass pro, because it's not just about running the football. If it was only about running the football, they could probably play Deuce Vaughn a little bit more. But it's also about protecting the quarterback. It's also about, I got to pick up. There's sometimes where I got to stay in as an extra blocker in a six-man protection. And if they're bringing, extra people, I am responsible for a whole person. There'll be times where I just got to chip and release. Like there are times where I got responsibilities in keeping my quarterback upright. So, there will be a time where Deuce Vaughn is going to have to go out there and stop a free blitzer, and they gonna have size on them. Like you talk about an NFL.
Wait. It feels like it's gonna be many
Hold on,
times, bro. How many passing plays did
hold on.
they?
Cause you were breaking up bad. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're good now. Go ahead.
I said I mean, obviously that was not our real play.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I had to stop you, Wes. It's going crazy right now. I'm finna bring it back and see if you can hear it. All right, say something. Yeah, I'm not sure. It'll go out. You'll turn into a robot, and then you'll come back clear. I'm not sure what's going on with the stuff right
What about now?
We're working through it. You sound all right right now. So go right ahead.
What I was saying is, well, I want to finish something on Joe Milton. Like, if you look at the love that Joe Milton was getting before he played and the love that Shador Sanders was getting before he played, it was almost the same. The only difference is Shador was getting more national coverage because he has a bigger name. But as far as that love and people wanting him to succeed, a lot of people in Dallas wanted Joe Milton to look good, right? But I'm going to tell you, like, a lot of that brotherly love and stuff that you see from these receivers that you see for Shador that you used to see with Joe, you're not going to see very much, man, because one thing about Shador that them receivers in Baltimore, in Cleveland like, is the fact that he's actually finding them and getting them open. He's actually putting the ball in their hand. That was the difference, man. That's the difference between, a guy like a Shador and a guy like Joe Milton. You know what I'm saying? And think about this. Theoretically, the Dallas Cowboys had action at Shador. You know what I'm saying? So he was a 5th round pick, bro. Cowboys could have drafted him. You know what I'm saying? He could have been your backup quarterback right now. You know what I'm saying? Which he probably will end up being a starter in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So, I just
bad
say,
for us and good for him.
Yes, but it listen to me. What I'm really trying to make the point that the Dallas Cowboys don't know a good quarterback nose on their face. They looked up and got Dak. The Cowboys, listen to me, every quarterback that they brought in since drafting Dak has not been what they've expected him to be. So the Cowboys just talk about getting rid of Dak anytime soon. That cannot happen until they can magically luck up and find another good quarterback, because the Cowboys aren't even good at picking backup quarterbacks. So I can only imagine in 2026 them trying to actually pick a starter. And think about this.
Paxton Lynch was in the game plan. Remember they tried to draft Connor Cook before they got Dak Prescott. Like, there was a bunch of things that fell our way in order to get Dak Prescott.
Johnny Manziel.
Folks don't understand what
Zach Martin's the only reason why they didn't draft Johnny Manziel, because Jerry wanted him.
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I think Steven had to stop that man. We always talk about Steven hemming him up to stop him from after he found out that he signed Dion. He also stopped that man from drafting Johnny Manziel, if you believe the story. So I will give Steven credit for that.
Yeah, so I mean,
boy, we're being in hell right now.
Yeah, the way the Cowboys evaluate talent is just like, I'd say on the offensive side of the ball, I would say right now they evaluate talent better on the defense than they do offense, or they just get luckier on the defense than they get offense. You know what I'm saying? Because offense, bro, it literally felt like you were watching defense all night. The offense was on the field so fast. Like, that first 2 drives of the Cowboys was drives. They were useless drives. Like, they were nothing accomplished in them in the first. The reason why I think
Oh, your shit bad. Hold on. We cannot hear you. Hold on. We cannot hear you. Hold on. Let's try this again. Hello? Say something. Oh, this shit completely is no. I'm finna take you out. I'm finna take you out. Come back in, okay? Yeah, cause Wi-Fi is attacking him right now. He been cooking this whole show. You know, that's why we trying to fight through it, because he going crazy. It's just like Jerry Jones does not want this man anywhere. Oh, salute to Blake Hart as well, man, for the cash out. He said, keep doing your shit, bro. I appreciate you. And remember, folks, anything you send to Henny the Moore right now is going to be used to help me get out to Frisco to the open practice on August the 19th. I'll be going August the 19th to the open practice. We're going to be covering everything that's going on there. So y'all tap in with your boy. And listen, help your boy out, man. It's a couple hours away. You know, help out with gas, help out with the hotel room, help out with food. It all goes to bringing y'all exclusive content, man. So if you want to help Henny the Moore get out to Frisco, Texas, to cover the Dallas Cowboys open practice on the 19th, please make sure you hit that cash app. It's $ Henny the Moore. The super chats help, but if you super chat me, I'm not going to get it to next month. I'm not going to hold you. Not only am I not going to get it to next month, they don't even pay, you know, you from YouTube until the 21st of every month. So even the YouTube money I got from last month is not going to get there in time to help out with the trip. So hit the cash app, and I appreciate y'all in advance, man. He said, West, see you get a refund from the nigga you bought your Wi-Fi subscription at the swap. Y'all is diabolical. He said, Henny, what do you think Dak would do with this offensive line Milton had last night? I know Dak is a better quarterback. Obviously, he's a starter, but don't think he will have balled out. I think I'm not concerned about about what I saw in pass pro. Like when he was pressured, like I'm not concerned about that. I understand, you know, the time when the offensive line lost. My concern with Joe Milton is when he had a clean pocket, had open wide receivers, and missed the ball. Like most of his incompletions were not really forced by the secondary they were playing with. A lot of the incompletions that he had, you know, was him throwing the ball behind the wide receiver, overthrowing the wide receiver, you know, not having enough touch on the ball to get the ball up and over a defender, right into the actual pocket and space where the receiver could catch it. Like those were the main issues with Joe Milton. You know, not really his pass protection. You know, of course, if the offensive line loses, that's just part of the game, right? But when you evaluate a quarterback, especially in these kind of situations, when the pocket is there and the receivers are there, you know, you have to make sure that you are accurately delivering the football. And he did not consistently do that last night, you know, especially in the first half. He settled down towards the back end of the game, but you know, the issue to me wasn't, you know, his pocket presses and stuff. Like I know that has to get fixed, but when things are perfect, you know, you got to stand and deliver. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that disappointed me about Joe Milton. Yeah, So in layman terms, like when the folks were wide open, he missed them. You know. And listen, I do have to go back and watch the pass pro, because what if the offensive line was holding up? We have multiple offensive linemen on that chart that we saw for PFF. Like some of your highest graded players last night were offensive linemen: Cornelius, Nate Thomas, TJ Bass. Like, you know, there were three of your highest graded offensive linemen according to PFF. Right, three of your highest graded players were offensive linemen. So was he really under duress? Was he holding the ball too long trying to process and then the pocket broke down? Was he analyzing his hots? Did he know when he was hot or not? Like those are things we're going to have to actually look at when the All 22 film comes out for Joe Milton, because it's not just about even delivering the football. Were you hot and you didn't know you were hot and you took an unnecessary hit? You know what I'm saying? Because remember, if you're in a 5-man protection and they send 6 people, the quarterback is responsible for the 6th person, because the ball got to come out. You got to realize that you are hot. You're going to have a free hitter coming, and you got to throw the ball to whoever your hot is. You know, that's the game that you got to play when you're the quarterback. If they bring 6 and you're only blocking 5, The responsibility of the free blitzer is the quarterback. The quarterback has to get the ball out immediately to his hot route. He got an outlet for that. Now, I'm not saying that scenario happened, but those are things I'm going to have to go and look at when I break down a Joe Milton and look at his tape, because it's not even just about that. From the live actual game, from the live actual game experience, I saw him missing wide open wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see how egregious it was, when the film actually drops. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't. He don't have a lot of playing time and the best IQ, but possibly behind that, yeah. I'm not trying to get rid of Joe Milton. I want Joe Milton on this team for the next couple of years. He has a skill set and an ability that no other quarterback on this team has. Like, I don't think there's any other quarterback that could throw the ball 90 yards. I don't think there's any other quarterback. A lot of people don't know this. Joe Milton had an 80-yard run touchdown in college in his day at Tennessee. So he's super athletic. He's 6'5". He can throw the ball 90 yards down the field. He just got to not throw the ball. He just got to not throw the ball to the other team. And when he got wide open receivers, he got to make sure to put the ball on them. Okay, cool. He said, yeah, okay, I'm going to check it out. Listen, sometimes the film do make it worse. Sometimes players have great games, and you look at the film like you were playing with fire the entire night. Like, God was with you. Like, that's what happens sometimes when you look at the film. Like, they have a great stat line, and then you go back and look like you were bailed out a couple times. But it be like that sometimes. But, yeah. Another winner for me is Trayshawn Holden. Shout out to Trayshawn Holden. I've been rooting for the kid. He been making noise at training camp. He barely played, by the way. Like, he barely played at all, last night until the end. He got in the game in like the fourth quarter, and he instantly made an impact. Matter of fact, Trayshawn Holden was the Dallas Cowboys' leading receiver, and he did not get in the game. Until the fourth quarter. 2 catches for 42 yards. The next, Jalen Brooks played a lot of football. He had 2 catches, 26 yards. Ryan Flournoy did have 1 catch for 20 yards. But point being, the impact of Trayshawn Holden was felt almost instantaneously. And to be fair to Ryan Flournoy and them, to be very fair and very transparent, Ryan Flournoy probably could have had more yards and everything. He probably could have had more yards and everything had Joe Milton been accurate. Robert, what you talking about? So how are you going to get rid of him when he's doing the same thing to Dak under pressure? Dak Prescott, by the numbers, I'm not just talking about my personal opinion, like by the numbers, Dak Prescott is one of the best quarterbacks against the blitz and has been for multiple years. I know there's a lot of things that people drag Dak Prescott for, but in terms of like handling like the blitz, like the numbers say he's one of the best quarterbacks at it. I'm not sure what those numbers looked like last year, but I know for a long period of time, like Dak Prescott was one of the top quarterbacks against the blitz. That's why people stopped blitzing Dak Prescott. They started dropping 7 in coverage and trying to get home with 4. You know what I'm saying? But I feel you though. That was a hell of a throw Milton made to Holden. Then that touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone, that shows his upside. He said until he gets to the playoffs. That's also overblown by most metrics. Dak Prescott has a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio in the postseason. He's 14 passing touchdowns to 7 interceptions. If you count in all touchdowns and all turnovers, he's 18 touchdowns to 7 turnovers. It's greatly overblown the inefficiency of Dak Prescott in the postseason. But, we're going to stay on task and talk about the people that actually played, in regards to preseason. I'm going to just stay on topic with that. Let me pull this back up because we do got some more stuff to look at and talk about. And hopefully, maybe Wes even show back up before the show was over, man. Who knows? We might even see West Coast mean again before the show was over. All right. This is Nick Harris' list of risers and fallers from preseason. He said running back Malik Davis stock went up. I do agree with that. And listen, I've been very vocal. Y'all know how I used to antagonize Landlord when it came to Malik Davis. I used to talk crazy about the boy. Like, Landlord can take a victory lap right now. He can have that I told you kind of moment, with me and Malik Davis. Because I was talking shit about the boy. I've been talking crazy about him. I've been talking crazy about him for a long time. You know what I mean? So, shout out to Landlord. He one of the people that's been believing in Malik Davis this entire time. Joe Milton, we already discussed, he didn't play up to par. He didn't play the way that I thought he was going to play. I like Joe, though. I still believe in him. I think he'll grow into the role. It's just what was a rough first outing with the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe the play calling improves what Joe does. They give him more of a resemblance of a run game early to get him into the flow of the game quicker. Utilize some play action, move the pocket, let him run more. I think you'll get a better Joe Milton. Maurice Leofau was amazing. He popped out the screen, and I don't even think I even needed to see Leofau last night because I felt like he played out of his mind at the end of last year. But him playing the way he did in preseason, it just solidifies, what we saw at the end of the year, that it wasn't just a flash in the pan, and he might be able to consistently be a great linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, Wes said his service tripping, so it's cool. He might be back in, he might not, but either way, it's always good to hear from West Coast, man. Israel Mukwamu, we talked about him as well. When you are playing, when you're tasked with trying to field cornerbacks, and your team is depleted with injury, you got Trayvon Diggs out, you got Revel out. You got Josh Butler out. Seatbelt Carson, has not practiced, and he's been out for a minute at this point. So when you're thin at cornerback, guys like Israel Mukwamu have to step up. Because part of me might die on the inside if week one comes and we got to put Andrew Booth anywhere on the field. Anywhere on the field. What's up, Todd Cowboys? Thank you for tapping in and showing support to the channel. I appreciate you. Yeah, the run offense was not bad at all. Dallas Cowboys run game was not bad by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, we got 63. We got official yards. We got 63 yards from Malik Davis. You got 36 from Maffa. You got 22 from Milton. You got 12 from Will Greer. You got 11 from Deuce Vaughn, and you got 4 from Jalen Marino Cropper. So the Dallas Cowboys ran for over 120 yards. They did all right on the ground. I don't think they ran the ball enough. I don't think they ran the ball consistently enough, but they did good running the ball. Hold on, let me add this up real quick. 63 plus 36 plus 22 plus 12 plus 11 plus 4. They ran the ball for 148 yards last night. And that was without running the ball a single time on their first 2 drives. So without running the ball on their first 2 drives, they still got up to almost 150 yards. I mean, at this point, I would try anything. Malik Davis might be able to make the team now. I think Phil Maffa might be able to make the team. And of course, Jadon Blue is going to make it. He's one of the guys that's coming back from injury. Yeah, and listen, that showed up on the goal line run. When they were on the goal line and he got stood up, in regards to Phil Maffa, that's when you could tell that the pad level wasn't great. Because they hemmed him up almost immediately. But he is a big dude. He's almost 240 pounds. He got a little bit of burst in this game. So I see what they like Maffa too. Darius Harris was somebody he highlighted. Offensive line health. What we don't talk about is 2 offensive linemen did go down last night. 2 offensive linemen did get injured. I believe it was a Dingy and somebody else. I'll be lying if I told you I remembered. I'll look it up. I'll look it up and find out later on. But yeah, the Dallas Cowboys did indeed, have some injuries along that offensive line. I mean, I don't know how Deuce Vaughn makes the team. I'm not sure how Deuce Vaughn makes the team at this point. But to be, and I like trying to talk about everything, and compartmentalize shit. Cause Shotty did say, "Hey man, there are gonna be some more people that play these upcoming preseason games. There are gonna be some guys that didn't play this week. They're gonna play next week. So maybe there is a plan to get more of the guys out there. Because like I said, there was a laundry list of people that did not play, and I feel like some of them should have played." He said, "Call me crazy, but I saw a flash of Tony Dorsett and Mafia runs last night." I'm not going to call you crazy. I'm going to say you're enthused by what you saw. I'm not going to call you crazy. But, I don't know if I saw Tony Dorsett. But I'll look at the film, like I said. And I'm sure I can get with my brother Balls. Balls love those film breakdowns. So I'm sure when the All 22 film drop, like me and him can get together and do the leg work together and break down some of these guys, man. Why is Booth that high in the depth chart? What, you talking about I stole your lemonade? Yeah. See, I'm finna get my ass beat on my own show. My wife came home, didn't realize I drunk a lemonade. Now she mean mugging me. So y'all pray for me. If anything happened to Henny the Moore, my wife did it. Appreciate you for the juice, baby. But I have no idea why. Well, really, technically, Booth is not that high on the depth chart. It's just that everybody ahead of Booth is hurt. And remember, Elam didn't play either. So yeah, like the folks ahead of him, but they should cut Andrew Booth. Like, if you can win jobs and playing times and jump over folks, hey Jay, shut up. If you can win jobs and jump over folks and everything else in preseason, you can also lose your damn job in preseason. So Booth, you out there motherfucker getting cooked by Xavier, some shit. You out there motherfucker getting cooked. That should be grounds for losing your job. That should be grounds for losing your job, in my humble opinion. I'm just meddling. She's a sweetheart. She really is a sweetheart. He said he ain't better than anybody who was out there yesterday, especially Izzy. Yeah, I agree. Like, Izzy should be over him. Israel McQuamble should be over Andrew Booth. I'm not making a claim that Andrew Booth should even be on the team. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, we're talking about Andrew Booth and we're talking about these other guys because the guys that we actually want to count on are hurt and not participating. Because think about it. You don't feel, because Deron Bland didn't play, Trayvon Diggs didn't play, Kyer Elam didn't play. You don't feel, Andrew Booth don't even get on the field if any of those guys are healthy, because what they have been doing is they've been putting out, when healthy, they want to put out Trayvon Diggs, they want to put out Deron Bland, they want to put out Elam, and then you might be able to talk somebody into like either Izzy or Keemon Hall as the dime back, right? As your fourth back. It's just that folks are hurt right now. You know what I'm saying? Folks are hurt right now. Because your top 4 corners, like 3 of them, are 3 of them hurt? 2 of them? Because I know Revel is hurt, and I know Trayvon Diggs is hurt. So 2 of your top 4 corners are hurt. Really, yeah, so we talk about niggas that don't need to play. They would not play under normal circumstances. It's just we're being critical of the 6th or 7th corner, as we should be. But He's like the 6th or 7th corner. He's nobody that will ever get out there on the field outside of break glass in case of emergency situations. I also agree they did not get home at the rate that I thought they would in terms of that. You said if he plays week 1, Brown or Smith going for Julio's record. Shit, they might, because Andrew Booth was, man. But hey, that's one thing I will say. They tested Israel Mukuamu deep. Israel Mukuamu was somebody that was struggling with the deep ball all training camp. They tried him, and he got a pick off of it. Izzy is a gamer. Izzy is somebody when the lights are on, he elevates his level of play. We saw that when they threw him out there, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, had him playing slot corner against Chris Godwin, who was one of the premier slot corners in the National Football League. And he was out there bitch going crazy. So I think Izzy is a gamer. If I had to be forced to play some cornerbacks, Izzy's name got to be in there. Like Izzy's name has to be in there. He said, then again, that wouldn't make sense. At least John Wilkes Booth gets the job done. Y'all so damn crazy. Yeah, y'all crazy as hell, dog. But nah, for real though, man. Like, I think, and listen, because I'm gonna wrap this up because I am supposed to be on kind of like vacation. The Dallas Cowboys need to get a damn defensive tackle in here. I saw some decent stuff from Mozzie, not consistent. I saw some decent stuff from Jay from UCLA, not consistent. I saw some plays being made by Perrion Winfrey, 3-tech. So the Dallas Cowboys need to, I don't know, maybe start a GoFundMe, do something, but they got to get a defensive tackle in here. Run defense, I know, first half they did all right. First half they did pretty good. But that run defense got belt to ass, after halftime. I think the Dallas Cowboys gave up like 160-something yards on the ground or some shit. So it was rough, man. The Dallas Cowboys run defense has to be better. You need a little bit more size up front. I don't think I saw anything good from Tommy, but I'll go back and look at it. I think that Jay had a couple of good plays, but he was also inconsistent and got turned at different points. Mozzie, I'm going to pray for Mozzie. So yeah, man. But it's been about an hour. I'm gonna chop it up with the family, relax. I just wanted to come on here and bring y'all my initial thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys first preseason game. I know there's some shit I didn't touch on. I'll be a little bit more well organized and put together next time you see me. I'll have all my notes together, and we'll chop it up about it, man. But on the way out, please make sure y'all hit that like button. Please make sure y'all hit that share button. And please let somebody know to sub up to the liquor store, man. Over there on YouTube, if you go on YouTube, type in HTM Sports. We're trying to grow the channel. We're at 3,000. We're at 3,000 some folks right now. We're trying to get to 4,000. So we're just trying to build this thing from the ground up, man. So please sub up. If you got it, hit that cash out. Help me get out there to Frisco to cover the open practice. He said, I heard Mozzie looked depressed running off the field. Another guy trying to make the team came off the field excited, ready to go again. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with Mozzie Smith, man. I think it might be mental. I think it might be a mental thing. The physical gifts that God gave him are there. He just got to be more consistent. Also, shout out to Numbhead Neil. I would be remiss not to mention that my boy Numbhead Neil was out here doing the Lord's work and slapping up thousands upon thousands of Eagles fans, on a weekly basis. Let's see, my boy said, what up, Henny? Slapped up Jerry and Steven 248 times each for disregarding the run defense yet again. Well, damn it. We're gonna have to spin on Jerry Jones and them, man. They don't want us to be great. They don't want us to be happy. They don't want us to have nice shit over here in the liquor store, man. They don't want us to have nice shit at all. But yeah, we'll see, man. There's 2 more preseason games. A lot of stuff to break down. I ain't got the all 22 film yet. So when the film drops, I'll be back. We'll talk about it. But appreciate y'all for spending your Sunday listening to me ramble on about the damn Dallas Cowboys. And in the words of my brother West Coast, who was nice enough to slide in here and rock with us today, man. Never look down because the star is up.